Hello, welcome to episode 6 of the Repair Pile series that I'm doing. I said I was going to do some spectrums. One sec. And I had these 4 rubber key wonders to inspect. And well, let's quickly go through them. Just let me move this +3 out of the way, which is going to be the subject of this video. So the first one already works, and it just needs a composite mod. That's this one, which has got this lovely double stacked socket here with one pin in the wrong socket hole. That one is because this is an issue 2 machine, and issue 2s don't normally take Oki memory. On an issue 3 you'll have wire links up here to select between the Oki and the other, I can't remember the other, what is it, Hitachi memory? So the issue 2 doesn't support Oki memory. This is a hack to get around that. And this one, which was actually faulty, to be fair, it does fire up and it shows the Sinclair Research logo, but I put the tester on it and it came up with one bad upper RAM chip over here. So I'll just replace that. I might do that on camera, I might not. And this one passes diagnostics, no problem. It's got a new keyboard membrane in it, and it's an issue 2 again. You can see the the variable capacitors and variable resistors there, and it just needs tuning up basically. So, but this one passes diagnostics. And then this one, which is an issue 3B, it says bad screen, but I think this just needs a recap and a clean. But one thing that I did do when I was going through all of these was use my new cable that my friend Henry gave me. Henry is one of my Discord members, and I met up with him in Cambridge at the Retro Festival event there, and he handed me this as well as some other stuff. But at one end is a normal RCA jack, which you plug into your ZX Spectrum. It's a good example. Now this Spectrum is not composite modded, but what you can do, sorry, no, not that end. This end plugs into the telly. This end plugs in here. And then this crocodile clips onto the video input into the RF modulator. I think he's actually put a capacitor in here in line, so that it is actually a proper composite mod. It's genius. What a brilliant idea. And normally I would go through all of these and I'd have to composite mod each one, or just do the hack where I hold the RCA jack against the side of the can and onto the thing there, which isn't ideal. This just made it so much easier. Thank you, Henry. That's just absolutely brilliant and I love it. That's now got pride of place hanging up over here above my monitor. Yeah, so this one doesn't need anything doing to it. So that's the 4 48Ks that I had to look at. I think there might be another one over there, but I'm not sure. Anyway, I thought I'm going to try to do a Sinclair machine, so I got this +3 out, and I took all the screws out, and then as I turned it upside down, I could hear something's rattling around in there. So I thought, I won't open it, I will turn the cameras on and we'll open it together. So here we go. Let's just release the keyboard membrane from this end. And actually, let's have a look. So this is power, so the LED lights up, no picture, and the disk drive is untested. The disk drive will need a new belt. They always need a new belt. So it's got quite a lot of corrosion on this board. Something's rattling underneath this. Oh, sorry, that's a cable tidy that goes on a post like that. Is that it? No, there's still something rattling around in there. Let's get this drive out. Oh, it's a screw. It's one of the motherboard screws. It's this one. Oh yeah, there's a broken post. Oh no, this screw is there. It's behind that capacitor there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I reckon maybe that one? Or that? I don't know. Yeah, that looks like there's supposed to be a screw in there. Yeah, I can see that that might have come loose by itself. Anyway, that's that. Should we try and turn it on? I'm going to just disconnect the floppy drive because that's not going to work. Come on. Neither of these want to give up. Oh, there's quite a lot of corrosion on the bottom of this drive. See around these pins, it does not look too healthy. So I don't know if this one is going to be brought back to life with its disk drive. You never know, it might just work. But there's just some corrosion on the board as well. Down here, on this side. Let's have a look here. So we've got this 26-way ribbon here, but we've got a +3. It says +3 ROM chip on that chip there, and that's the CPU. Those are the ROMs, and that's a sound chip. This is a floppy disk controller, and this is also something to do with the floppy disk. And then the ULA is under here. Yes, this good labelling. Well done. Right, I'll find a power supply and we'll plug this in and see if it works. Oh, interesting. There was a flash. So I've just plugged in the diagnostic cartridge. Ah, interesting. Looking at this on the thermal camera, there's one chip there that's looking hot, but that's to do with these RS-232 ports. The TIA is quite hot, but that's working. I know it's working. The floppy disk controller is a bit warm. The CPU is quite warm under this label, but that's not unusual. Nothing else looks bad. Ah, look at this. This is good. That's 24 degrees. That one's not. 21.7. These two are 23.6 and 23.4, 25. So it could be the cold one. I don't think I've got any 4464 memory. I had a little poke around with the oscilloscope here, and let me get it somewhere where you might be able to see it. Most of the pins look, you know, fine. They for a Spectrum, they look absolutely fine until I got to pin 15 on this one on IC5. Now I'll show you what that should, you know, that looks a more of a healthy signal to me. This is data line, I think it's data line 2 on all of these chips, but on this one that doesn't look right. But if you look on these two chips over here on IC4, that actually looks like how it really should look. I thought that was okay, but that doesn't look quite right. This one looks healthy. That looks like a healthy data line. So it could be one of these chips is pulling something down, or it could be this ULA. On the other side of this, this ULA is soldered. It's kind of floating in the board, and these joints are quite prone to cracking because the whole thing is just flopping around in there. So I'm going to take the board out and have a look at the other side. And if not, I think I'm going to have to pop these chips out. I can't see which one is broken. It's indicating that chips 1, 2, 3 and 4, or data lines 1, 2, 3 and 4 are bad. So I'm not sure if that's really going to help me because they all look slightly bad. I gotta say that does not look good. So the first thing I looked at was this side, which looks like somebody's already tried to reflow this. There's bits of solder mask missing here, and bits that are chipping off, and it looks a bit fluxy, but all of these pins are attached, but one or two of them, one or two of the pads have actually come loose from the board. They don't look good. That one is miles off of the pad. Anyway, carrying on down here. This one's miles off as well, but it's still attached. But that one's not. That one's not attached to the pad. I think some damage has been done to this already, and oh, that one's really gone. I'm a bit reluctant to get this hot again because I think it could cause problems. That one's not attached either. Some of these are attached but feel quite weak as well. That one's gone as well. Okay, so I think I just need to reflow the whole thing. This side looks good. This side looks factory actually, but this can actually catch you out because even though they look good, they could have cracked off because this is old solder, and the vibrations every time this is, you know, put down on a desk or transported somewhere will make this whole chip vibrate, suspended on here, and it will eventually just break these solder joints. They all feel so weak. Yeah, I think the whole thing needs reflowing. So I set the temperature on my soldering iron to 330 degrees to try and minimize the amount of damage that I am likely to do. And I'm going to be using some MG Chemicals. This is No Clean Flux Paste 8341. This is the only one I've tried. It works for me. It looks like this part of the chip is higher than this leg, but actually this is lower. These legs come up and then wrap over here. So I can't run the flux along that edge. I'm going to have to just float it all along these pins here. I don't want to use too much, and it will go a long way, this flux. And I want to be careful not to snag any of the pins with this tube. So I think I'm just going to get a cocktail stick. That one's come, both of those are loose. That's better. That one's soldered. Okay. I'm going to try this without any fresh solder. Let's see what happens. Hmm. I want to see what's going on here first, where that black mark is. It's just some burning. So that one's still not soldered. I'm going to use just a small dab of solder. I'm all right with that side now. I'm just going to give them a brush over with some IPA and a soft brush. Oh, that's better. All right, any problems along this side? All right, I'm also going to just clean this side. It looks like all of the pins are good, but there's still quite a lot of flux left on there. Looks better. This side looks okay, but let's give it a clean first this time. And the last side. And this is the worst one. I'm wondering if they've used unleaded solder on this, and that's why it looks so bad. Yeah, that pad has lifted. They are all attached. Yep, they're all attached. I think some of these must have come loose, and they've reflowed these ones, and then in the meantime some of these ones that I reflowed have come loose, so we fixed those. So these will probably come loose at some point, and these will probably come loose at some point. These haven't been touched, so I'm going to test it to make sure it's working first, and then I'll come back and reflow all of these. Same thing. Right, with the diagnostic cartridge. It's saying the same thing. So I think it might actually have some bad memory then. Before I do the memory, I'm going to reflow all of the rest of the joints on that ULA and just rule that out completely. Right, I'll have to find out which banks that corresponds to and see if those chips are faulty, but I'm going to have to see if I can find some of these chips. I'm not sure if I've got any. So I wasn't recording for quite a bit of that. What I've done is I found this Amstrad +3 board that my friend Julian from the Board Folk gave me a while ago, and I've taken 2 of the memory chips out, tried them in my usual chip tester, and both of them are not working. So I've got the Retro Chip Tester Pro out. I'm going to give this a whirl. This is obviously a much better device than my other chip testers, but the reason I don't use it so much is just a bit more of a hassle to set it up each time when I just want to know if a chip's working. 4464. So these look like they're bad. That's disappointing. I'm going to have to find some more. Right, it's just in the middle of testing, but I think I've found there's this short board that I've got. It's got most of its chips on, but it had one of its memory chips in a socket. So that's in here, and that's going through the tests. Yay! And just out of curiosity, will it pass on this as well? Yes, it's going to pass on this as well. Thank you, Retro Chip Tester Pro, again. Yep, that passed green. So all the MT RAM in that board was bad. Well, the 2 that I took out. Right, so next I need to take out IC3 and get it right this time. So I'm going to put a little mark on it. Well, I'm not going to get the Retro Chip Tester Pro out again, just for this. Let's just chuck this one, get it up the right way. Doesn't want to stand up. Dead. It is a dead chip. Okay. I'll find a socket to go in there. Nice new 18-pin socket. Put the new chip in. New chip. Oh, same thing. That hurts. I bet there's another broken RAM chip. Right, so the lower RAM is now okay looking at that, because the lower RAM was obviously dealing with the screen memory, and that's okay. Oh, it's still saying the same thing. Why is that so hot? Oh. Okay, so I just put my finger on this chip here and it was burning hot. And I thought, well, that must be because I've just heated it up, but that was ages ago. It shouldn't be that hot. But all of the RAM chips on here are facing south, and I put that one in the traditional way, facing north. So I fully expect this RAM chip to now be toast. So I'm going to have to find another one. Try it anyway. Oh, that was so hot, that burnt my finger. Oh my God. No way. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. That's passed. How did that survive? That was easily probably well over 100 degrees. Okay, let's try again. Here we go. Look. Oh no, there's some bad RAM in one of the other banks as well. When the border goes red like that, you know that there's a fault. I've actually burnt my finger on that. I have blister forming on my finger. So this, now it's got this far in the test, it should actually tell us which chips are at fault, because it knows it's a +3. So I reckon it's IC4. Right, so that's IC5 down here. I need to find another chip now. I don't know if there was another one in that board, was there? Soldering iron back on. This time I'll put it in the right way. Right, back in the chip tester. Bad. Right, this time I'm going to put the chip in the right way around and not give it that burn-in test. Ready? Here we go. Yay! Okay, let's try it with diagnostics cart. This is my first +3 repair. Brilliant, that's passed. So this is now a fully working board. I still have to get the drive working, but it's quite late at night, so I might make this a two-parter. Isn't it? There's an interesting thing. But yeah, I'm going to leave this for now and come back to it after a good sleep. One thing I want to show you though before we go though is that this has had some work done on the modulator. I think this modulator has been replaced because, oh, that's very sharp. Look on this side, look at the soldering here and here. All around here is not very nice. It's very clumpy, looks like unleaded solder, and that they couldn't get it to melt. Right, I've had enough of repairing ZX Spectrum +3s. I've got the 3 of them on the bench here. There's another one under here. This is the one from this video, which is now that's finished and complete. I did try to repair, or I refurbished this drive. I replaced the belt, and I recorded all of that on video, but it was unsuccessful, so it's a bit of a waste of time actually showing it. One day I'll do a ZX Spectrum +3 floppy disk drive refurbishment video, but there are quite a few videos out there already doing just that, so go and watch Mark Fix's stuff do it. This one didn't work, and the problem with this one, I think, is the stepper motor, or the whatever drives the stepper motor is not working. So it could be this board here, but it just doesn't do anything. I have got another spare drive, and that's got exactly the same fault. I've decided, and Paul has decided as well, to put a Gotek in one of these machines, because the other 2 Spectrums, which were working, just needed their disk drives refurbished, which I did, and they work okay. I think they're okay, but the discs I've got aren't very good, so they do load, but I'm not entirely positive that I've fixed them. But I'll send them back to Paul and he can test them, and if there is a problem, they can send them back with some discs that work. Anyway, so we've got 3 machines here, 2 of them with working disk drives and 1 that's not working, and I'll put a Gotek in that one. The only other thing that I had to do was on this machine here, the floppy drive belt fell apart, the back clip just broke off, so I salvaged one from the spare board and cleaned it up, and that one works fine. So I'm putting these ZX Spectrum +3s away for now until I've got the parts that I need to actually put a Gotek in one of these. And the next video will be Commodore 64s, because I've got quite a few of those to get through. I'll see you in the next one.